Hey fam, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another reaction. This is Segovia coming to you live from the man cave, back with another reaction, y'all. We got some of the scariest videos on the internet we're going to get into right now. Before we get into it, just remember, for entertainment purposes only, y'all. Don't believe everything you see in these clips. I'm just here to entertain y'all and hopefully make a stressful day a better day, or a better day an even better day. But nonetheless, enough with the chit chat. We're going to save that for the end of the reaction. Let's get into it. Enjoy the show.
And even in the industry, I used to look out into the crowd, and I promise, I know you're gonna think I'm lying to you. I used to look out and see faces change. Everything felt demonic, spiritually.
I don't know if you guys have ever had a Mickey Mouse cup. You have a cup that has stuff written on the inside. A Mickey Mouse cup specifically has Mickey written on the inside, and when you're drinking liquids, you can see the reflection on the surface of the liquid, and the reflection actually says wicked.
You think that was premeditated?
Yes.
You think that's why Walt named his infamous character Mickey?
Yes.
Did it catch you off guard?
No, I had always known in my gully that Mickey was wicked, just filthy. You can actually see Mickey in a factory in one of his episodes where he's making Swiss cheese, and basically what he's doing is there's a conveyor belt, and he's taking each one of these blocks of cheese and he's putting it up to his area 1 and poking a hole through the cheese with it. So he's actually going like this to the cheese.
And he's making the Swiss.
Yeah, he's making holes in the cheese with
He's making the Swiss
with his mouse.
Michael Jordan, I don't ever want to meet him. Don't ever want to talk to him.
He's a big gambler. Big. I mean, Michael gambles on everything, from what my experiences, what I was told, and people that know him, yes.
Okay.
Do you have a gambling problem?
No, I enjoy it. It's a hobby. If I had a problem, I'd be starving. I'd be hawking this watch. My championship rings, I would sell my house. I would do this. My wife left me, or she'd be starving. My kids would be starving. I do not have a problem. I enjoy gambling.
He was told to leave the NBA around the time that his father got murdered because stories were about to come out. There was a lot of heat on the fact that because of Michael's gambling habit, his father paid the price. And the NBA didn't want the press, so they asked him to leave for a while. That's when he went to play baseball. And then when things settled down, he came back. The plan was always, from what I was told, for him to come back. Now again, I heard this from
Well, there's where all your, not your money, but all the money for those $3,000 pair of shoes that he charges now. Getting pissed away in Vegas and sports betting, and it's a damn shame, y'all.
And I can tell you unequivocally, 100%, we are in World War III. And you can say today, hours ago, when the UK fired between 12 and 20, and reportedly there's more, so that's why it's growing, high-powered, supersonic cruise missiles out of Ukraine into Russia at military targets. The missiles were delivered, and that if the West said we are now escalating, just the announcement would mean Russia was, quote, in a state of war officially with NATO. When these missiles rained down a few hours ago, that they are in bunkers in Russia with their high command, and they are saying we are now officially at war. I bet you my life that they have said we are now officially at war and are deciding what to do. More weapons get rolled in up against the border. Russia goes in to push those weapons out. Says, don't join NATO, get your long-range weapons out. We don't like missiles being brought in that can take out our nuclear forces in a sneak attack. We don't want to invade. This is the final red line. You've gone over dozens of our red lines. This is the final red line. And NATO said in communiques that are public, we don't believe it, keep doing it. Encircling Russia. And that's the same thing. Oh, look, we bombed Russia yesterday. They didn't nuke us. I saw that all over the news, all over X, people laughing at me. Oh, Alex, you said this could cause a nuclear war and escalation. Russia didn't do anything. See. And so you're playing with the end of the world.
Pretty much.
So I got this creamer, and it's not expired. What's that say? February 2025. I just got it. But look at this junk.
I used to always get that
It's
creamer,
like
especially during the holidays.
literal thick
Half and half now, y'all.
slime.
I grew up.
Look at that. It's like slime. I'm dumping out the whole thing. It smells fine, but like that's like literally just thick, creamy, nasty. Don't buy it. Look at it in this sink. It literally comes out like
Don't clog up
like
your drains.
a string. That's disgusting. Brand new, unexpired bottle of creamer. International Delight, you got some explaining to do.
Look at this. Another grown man was gonna lick his lollipop. Look at that. What goes on over there in that music industry in Hollywood, y'all? What grown man
This is
gonna do
Angela
that?
Ford. She's on the Sean Ryan podcast. She's a psychic for the United States government, doing top secret work to finding dead bodies to even tracing spies that were found in our country. But this is where things get weird because Sean is going to ask her about the crucifixion of Jesus.
Have you tried to look into religion at all? Such as the crucifixion?
Froze up. Stiff.
You have? Do you not want to talk about that?
Can't even move.
Okay.
Hmm.
Do you want to talk about... You had mentioned you had had a UFO experience.
It snaps back.
Yeah, but I was
Boom.
13 years old.
Then she continues that conversation as if it never happened.
It's crazy.
When you're charging your phone, it is emitting electric fields. Lara is just holding up this part of the multimeter and the other part is grounded, so we can see actually her body voltage in relation to the earth. And if I put the phone very near to her, we have about 5 or 6 volts. If I put the charger out of the wall, it almost goes to 0.00. So you have two bad things. You have the charger that is emitting electric field, and you have also radio frequencies. If I use this meter, and if I put the cell phone out of airplane mode, it has very high readings on the radio frequency. And if I put 4G on, it's even worse.
Okay, so you guys see that thing? There's an EMF blocker on here. Okay? And on
I
this
don't want to
phone,
get
there
that.
is no EMF blocker. You see that? Holy. It's like deadly levels. And there we go. See? I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing this video to sell EMF blockers. I'm not telling you guys you have to go and buy one, but if you want to protect yourself, it is a good idea. But they really do work. And I know with both these companies, if you're not satisfied, they'll refund your money. So it's right on there. As you can see, I'm not doing anything.
Y'all, the Simpsons predicted that the Anunnaki gods is gonna come back and get us, yo. I need y'all to see this video real quick, yo. This shit was talking about basically the Mayan gods, but the Mayan gods that were pertaining to the... Look at this, look at this. Yo, the giant Nephilim beings coming back, destroying the planet. Look at this, y'all.
That's...
What? And then look at this. Did y'all see this show? Basically how they put together the same type of people at this big ass rave. Y'all, then you know what else this reminded me of? This also reminded me of like some Transformers shit, like how they came down and everything. Yo, like, this is almost on the same type of deal.
That's crazy.
Look at these beings, y'all. They big as shit. Does this not look like they're preparing for something? Look at this. This is for entertainment purposes only, yo. Oh my God!
Ask yourself a question, is this even possible? Is it possible that X building was built in the 1890s? They're giving us timeline to like a year. It was built in a year. They want us to believe we didn't have the technology, that we were low tech, and yet we're building all of these amazing structures. This disparity between what the narrative says and what's actually there.
You have places, cities in America that look as though they were constructed in medieval Europe, when nothing was here and people showed up and just got started building, from what we're told. One would assume that they would build with the means that were available to them. Wood, nails if they were lucky. What we get is this narrative that people were showing up and really making do with what they had.
What we learned about in school is there was nothing here. This land was free for the taking. The only inhabitants were wild Indians, and we built everything here. Everything you see in this country, in North America, because we're talking about Canada too, was built by us. After we got here, nothing here. They had to
Empty fields when they got here.
They had to destroy the evidence.
That we
the United States fundamentally rejects the court's decision to issue arrest warrants for senior Israeli officials.
We remain deeply concerned by the prosecutor's rush to seek arrest warrants and the troubling process errors that led to this decision. The United States has been clear that the ICC does not have jurisdiction over this matter.
So I guess Kellogg's posted for the first time in like 55 days. Kellogg cereal. Haven't posted since the Food Babe delivered a petition of over 400,000 signatures requesting that they keep their promise from, I think it was 2015, to remove artificial food dyes from their cereals. They still haven't done it. So they posted for the first time today. Did not go well. Check out these comments. Yikes. The fact that they have a safer version for other countries and we get the trash one, come on. Like, did you not think we were gonna catch on?
Like, am I bugging, or I thought he passed away? I swear I could have sworn he passed away, and this ain't no, it might be a Mandela effect, I don't know, but I could have swore this man passed away.
The average organic avocado farm in Central California is going to kill around 19,000 ground squirrels a year. That's not counting the billions of bees, because they're going to bring the bees up from Brazil to pollinate the trees, and then they're going to die. They're not sending them back anywhere. They're not keeping them. No, they're gone. They're going to spray the trees. They're going to kill every bug, every plant, everything. You won't see any birds. You won't see anything else. Yeah. They killed them all.
So we all know the fake snow here was made of asbestos, and how the lion's costume was actually made out of real lion fur in the original Wizard of Oz. But did you know about this crazy accident that left the Wicked Witch of the West with severe burns, even to the point of her eyelashes and eyebrows being burnt off? But the most crazy part about this is that the producers wanted her back right away to do another fire stunt. And of course she said no, but then her stunt double agreed, and surprise, the exact same thing happened to her, which left her in the hospital for 11 days. And the crazy thing is she only got paid $35 for all that. But it doesn't stop there. The Tin Man was hospitalized after ingesting pure aluminum from his costume. And after hearing this, the studio literally said, "Get the hell back to work." But the doctors obviously wouldn't let him go, especially considering his skin had turned completely blue. So the studio just got another actor, and again, the actor received a serious eye infection. But the studio didn't stop there. They refused to let Judy Garland and the actress that played the Wicked Witch of the West eat while filming the movie, limiting them to a diet of only soup, coffee, and up to 80 cigarettes a day. And you already know no fun was allowed on set, since Judy was slapped by the director just for laughing while trying to deliver her line. And if you know anything about what the Munchkins did to her, you probably know that this wasn't the worst thing to happen to her while working on The Wizard of Oz.
You know, I know the movie Wicked is demonic, because I'm walking around and I see everybody dressing up like characters from the movie, which is all part of the witchcraft, the mind manipulation. So stay vigilant, because we are under a spiritual warfare.
Every time you eat sugar, you get older. Well, getting old is an enormous mistake. We are accelerating the aging process every time you eat sugar. So get it out of your life. Get the wheat out of your life. Wheat is a deadly poison. Get it out of your life. Get the dairy out of your life. Get the processed oils out of your life. Processed oils. Go to the supermarket, get down the aisle with the oils, look at all those oils. All of those oils will kill you. So don't buy them. Don't eat them. Then walk down a little bit, there's salad dressings made with those same oils. Those kill you too. Every time you eat it, it does more permanent damage. And by doing this permanent damage, it ages you, makes you older. Get them out of your life. That's a big step forward. And then more fresh vegetables, organically grown fresh vegetables.
I believe it, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, man. This year and a half, over a year and a half, I've been living in Texas. I have been a fool with the food. I hurt every day when I get out of bed. The inflammation. When I was putting the crib and the dresser together with my dad, he made a comment because I was like hurting, like because I was on my knees and I had to get up, and he's like, "Man, you're still young. Like you shouldn't be making these noises like I make, you know, being however old he is." I didn't say nothing, but that's the food. That's the food that's aging me permanently and doing damage. And I continue. I don't know, y'all. I continue doing it. Continue doing it, knowing the outcome, right? Giving into that weak mindset for instant satisfaction, that quick hit of crack, right? And then dealing with the 2-3 days of pain. Got to make some changes, y'all. Got to make some changes. Anybody else on that same boat with me? Or am I the only one out here struggling?
We know migrants receive a lot of benefits. What are some of the benefits that they receive?
About $2,000 a month in cash, about $1,500 in the food stamp beneficiaries, like SNAP benefits. They'll get about $1,500 in that. A phone that's paid for 2 years that they don't have to worry about, and housing over their head for at least 3 months minimum until they can actually get put into a process.
And is it expensive to live here?
Yeah, you can't even find a studio for less than $1,600 a month, and that's a one bedroom.
And they're getting free housing.
And they're getting free housing.
Have you ever considered hopping over the fence and then coming back as an illegal?
Yes, but it does not work. It does not work.
Have you done it?
Yes, I have, and it did not play out correctly at all. I was let know that you could spend up to 7 years minimum federal time.
So an American will get 7 years federal time for going over there and coming back trying to be an illegal. But an illegal can come here and get all these benefits. That doesn't make sense, does it? That's kind of...
So you could go to jail for trying to come in as an illegal, but the illegals can come in.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Could you benefit? Could you get any help from the government that would help you in your life right now instead of them giving it to illegals?
Yes, if I was able to receive the benefits that they're receiving, I wouldn't have to work 2 jobs just to supply a house for me and my girl. I'd actually be able to work one and welcome our son into our life.
The shocking truth about Takis. Truth is, I never even heard of them. My kids said all their friends eat these corn chips. Dad, you have to do a video on it, so maybe your kids are eating these too, so you might want to share the video with them. But what are they? First of all, non-organic corn, never eat it. It's always GMO. Second ingredient is vegetable oil. Palm, soybean, canola oil. And come down here, of course, the red dye 40, so these are illegal in Europe. The yellow number 6. Come down further and we have what? Artificial flavors, a bunch of chemicals. Okay, these are being sold as the alternative in Trader Joe's of all place. And guess what? No better. Vegetable oils, a bunch of other ingredients I don't like, but there's no dyes, so I'll give it. It's somewhat better. And then, of course, I thought maybe Sprouts would have a better product. No better. Second ingredient, vegetable oil. Here's the alternative. This is what I recommend. The masa chip is all organic. I don't know if we can blow that up. All organic corn, 100% grass-fed beef tallow, and all of the spices that make it spicy are in fact organic. So that's a good chip. Nothing bad, no bad oils. In beef tallow, that's the best. That's what I eat in my house, and they have different flavors. There you have it.
So apparently this castle, Prague Castle, was built in the year 880, which I can't even begin to work out how many hundreds of years before the first power tool that was. And this castle is 250 meters above sea level. So what I'm expected to believe is that the good people of Prague got all these materials 250 meters above sea level before electric motors even existed, so horse and cart, and then they did all this with hand and chisel. You've got to be taking the piss, mate.
Well, 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 look what we have here. Ellen DeGeneres didn't just change her home address when moving out of the United States, but she changed her hair color too. Now, she's a brunette. We know this because a video was posted last night on Instagram in her new town of England, dancing with friends, going out to eat, and then all of a sudden the video pans over and it shows Portia, Ellen's wife, sitting there with Steve Jobs. I mean, Ellen. With all the rumors swirling around about why she really left town, people are wondering why she went from her trademark bright blonde and all of a sudden dyed her hair to a dark brown. Is it that she just wants to be incognito and sail into the sunset and enjoy her retirement? Or does she just want to be different, start a new chapter, start a new life? Or is it something else? Some might say that she's hiding in plain sight. Why do you think the sudden change? As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
Oh my god. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What if the U.S. government cuts military funding to Ukraine?
If they will cut, I think we will lose. Of course, anyway, we will stay, we will fight. We have our production, but it's not enough to prevail. And I think it's not enough to survive. But that will be, if such choice will be American choice. So we will decide what we will have to do.
Long story short, if they cut off funding, we'll negotiate to end the war. Long story short.
The type of mobile telephone service was used when our friend Mac called from his mobile telephone. This service is designed to provide a means of communication for those who travel in city areas as well as those who travel along intercity highways. Any place having regular telephone service or any vehicle having mobile equipment can originate or receive a call. Now let's see the equipment that makes mobile telephone service work. Here in an automobile, a transmitter unit and a receiver unit are being compactly and neatly installed. The flexible antenna is mounted on top of the vehicle, or in the case of trucks, on the side toward the rear. The control unit is simple to operate. The operator calls by ringing a bell. At the same time, a signal lamp on the left of the unit lights up. Throughout the country, mobile telephone stations are being expanded to become links in a nationwide network. The mobile telephone greatly expands the scope of voice communication. It is one more step toward telephone service for anyone, anytime, anywhere.
The original silk used to come from the silkworm, and it's interesting because silk is highly conductive. And if you think about our bodies, we are highly conductive. We are highly conductive crystals. So silk actually used to be very, very healing. Then all of a sudden, about 1906, 1907, fake silk came about, which was from DuPont. You had a plastic silk which came about, and that started to eliminate that whole silk, I guess you could call it silk road if you want to call it, of clothing. And then plastic silk took its place. And this is where people get a whole bait and switch. You know, they sell something like bamboo, but in reality it's polyester. And then they sell something like silk and people think they're wearing silk, and then they find out they're wearing plastic. So if you think about it, a lot of these things have changed over time and people don't really know. So when they're buying something, they don't really know what they're supposed to be feeling while they're wearing something. So they're completely confused. And if you're wearing things and they're making you ultra warm and ultra irritable and ultra angry, that clothing is not resonating with your skin. And this is all the DuPonts, plastics, polymers, nylons, acrylics, tencel, all those materials. Because think about it, it's like taking a garbage bag and putting it over your body. You're not going to be too happy, that's for sure.
I've been having nightmares for probably the last 2 months, and one of the things that I just changed 2 months ago was I took this fan part off of my top window so it was brighter in here. But at night, I'm getting this street lamp, which you probably can't see. I'm getting a street lamp that shines in here. And I've been having nightmares and not been able to sleep through the night. I've been waking up every hour. Last night, I put that thing back on. I slept through the night. I didn't have nightmares. So I wonder, do the street lights put off some kind of energy that is negative when it comes to humans? Because as soon as that went back on, everything was good.
Do y'all know about the different entities of sleep paralysis?
Not the different ones, but I know that
there's the man in the hat,
the hat man, the shadow people.
There's one called the hag, and it's
hag.
It's like an old lady.
The hag,
dude.
The hag.
Dude.
I've never heard that. But my uncle, they were living in this house. He got up one morning to like get some water, and he was walking back to his room, and he heard something in the kitchen. He turned around, and there was an old lady standing in the kitchen. And he just like freaked out, and like the dog barked, and he looked down and looked back, gone. He didn't tell anyone that. The next night, his son was sleeping, and the dog was sleeping on the bed and started barking, and he opened his eyes, and at the foot of his bed was an old lady. And then she just walked out the door, gone.
Dude,
I hate this.
What's
I
up?
wanna go back to
Sleep
bed.
is so weird.
I am afraid.
That was the scary
I'm very scared.
We'll get Hardy to tuck you in tonight.
Can you?
No one. You know, when you, I can.
Well, I was questioned by a judge. However, I protested at that time that I was not allowed legal representation. But during that very short and sweet hearing, I really don't know what the situation is about. Nobody has told me anything except that I'm accused of murdering a policeman. I know nothing more than that, and I do request someone to come forward to give me a legal assistance.
Did you kill the president?
No, I've not been charged with that. In fact, nobody has said that to me yet. The first thing I heard about it was when the newspaper reporters in the hall asked me that question.
In a room filled with reporters waiting to see Oswald, there, perched in a corner, was the man who would kill him as the whole country watched. Nightclub owner Jack Ruby.
You have been charged.
A new test showed Vital Farms eggs contain a higher percentage of inflammatory omega-6 fat than canola oil. All tiers of Vital Farms eggs, even organic and pasture-raised, are fattened on a diet of corn and soy. This boosts their egg output, but the fats in these unnatural grains make it straight to the yolks and onto your plate. Support small farms like Angel Acres using heirloom feed, and keep an eye out for the soy-free label in your supermarket.
It was this picture of Tara Reid from P. Diddy's 35th birthday party that sent me down a whole ass rabbit hole. This album from Getty Images had 100 different pages. Each page had about 10 photos each, and I haven't seen anyone done dirty like they did Tara Reid. Do you see her face in this photo? She looks absolutely traumatized. That's because in 2004 she attended P. Diddy's 35th birthday party, where his theme was, I want to lay down. And it just so happened that what happened to Tara Reid at P. Diddy's 35th birthday party was the beginning of her downward spiral in Hollywood. By 2005, they labeled her the worst actress in Hollywood, and by 2008, she was admitting herself into rehab for substance and alcohol abuse. It's interesting to note that this celebrity photographer, Salma Fonseca, attended at least 20-30 Diddy parties, which either caught their uprisings or downfalls, which has me wondering if somehow he was able to infiltrate the media to uplift the stars that he favored and tear down someone that he didn't. Demi Lovato, for example, and Wilmer. Which, if you didn't know, Wilmer is close to Ashton, and Ashton has quite the history with P. Diddy. This picture was taken in 2015, in which by 2017 it's rumored that she's in a relationship with French Montana, in which by 2018 she admitted herself into rehab after being addicted to and releasing the documentary series Dancing with the Devil. And it's also no secret how close P. Diddy and French Montana are as well. And it's really interesting because I have linked French Montana to other concerning sources as well. Exhibit A, Danny Fitzgerald, who was the alleged co-conspirator of Peter Nygard. And if you don't know, all I can say is Peter Nygard was Jeffrey Epstein times 10 when it came to victims and clients. And then I started thinking about that fight that Lindsay Lohan and Paris Hilton had at P. Diddy's bash, where it's alleged that Lindsay Lohan was dating the ex of Paris Hilton. And when Diddy came to confront the situation, Lindsay Lohan and P. Diddy got into it, but it was supposedly just a big misunderstanding and there was no bad blood. But literally right after that incident happened, Lindsay Lohan ended up admitting herself into rehab as well. And then we got Britney Spears. Do you guys realize this is right before she ended up shaving her head? Britney Spears had a good history with P. Diddy all the way up until 2007. By 2007, she had shaved her head, and by 2008, she was hospitalized. And then I end up finding out that P. Diddy and Britney Spears both work for TriStar Sports and Entertainment Group, who also played a role in her conservatorship in 2008. And again, it's no secret that P. Diddy and Justin Timberlake go way back as well. As former member Lance Bass claims that Diddy told Justin Timberlake to quit NSYNC, quoted saying, "You need to drop those," in which he did just that. I can't help but think of how big Britney Spears was before her downfall.
Yeah.
And who was she with the night before this performance in which she couldn't even hardly walk straight? Now, I'm not sure what's going on here, but I think that we need to start paying attention to patterns. Because I'm starting to see a few. Aren't you? Because I think a lot of us think that all of these Hollywood stars are best friends. But a lot of them are competition with each other, and maybe Perez Hilton had some substance to this post. Hollywood's so high school, and everyone likes to be Queen Bee, so it's fighting over men and fighting over rank and who's bigger star and who gets more attention, he explained. It begs me to wonder, what would one do to get to the top?
Gentleman, as you saw, that is freaking out on an airplane, and the images shown of what was sitting next to him. I don't know if it was a shapeshifter. I don't know if it was a demon. They're saying, most people are saying it was an alien. It looks like it's some form of...
Why are these cameras always so damn blurry? Like, who's filming? When was the last time you seen somebody walking around with the iPhone 2, iPhone 3? Like, why are they always so grainy and blurry? And it's not like he's 50 feet away where he's zoomed in all the way, so it's grainy. Like, he's right there in the mix, and the one camera of the video that comes out is grainy and choppy. What about this guy in front of him that looks like he's got a good video of it? Where's his video?
Demon creature that maybe transformed in front of him, and as you can see, a bunch of people, they were all jumping up and videoing when
I've been sitting here for 5 minutes with my jaw on the floor. Listen to this.
I still need to watch this.
5 million shoes produced each hour. Visualize 68,733 phones produced each hour. Visualize 190,000 garments produced each minute. Visualize 12 tons of plastic produced each second.
As a collective, we all need to stop over-consuming.
I agree.
I'm at a store here in Sweden. We have very strict food regulations, what should and not should be put in food or edibles in Europe. So I went to this place called Matvärlden. Here they have this USA shelf, and I looked at Airheads. On the back of Airheads you can see warning labels. Contains ACO tolerance that can have negative effect on child's behavior and concentration. So, American candy comes with warning labels here in Europe.
Alright, NASA, I got a bone.
So crazy that they don't do that here. You know? Cigarettes do now. I'm sure in the past they didn't, but now they do. Causes the big C word and other health things. But why don't they put that on our food? Because I'm sure over time, us seeing that, our psyche's just going to eventually say, this isn't good for us, we ain't going to eat it. Just like cigarettes. I mean, there's new people that are starting to smoke, but like, I never thought of smoking. I bought one pack when I was 17, smoked one, disgusting, gave it to my friend, you know, just because I was able to buy them, I bought them. So I never had the thought to buy them again, but I'm sure seeing hot Cheetos with a warning, big C word on there, causing or anxiety or mental health problems are going to magnify if you eat these. Over time, I'm going to be like, you know what, I can't eat them, even though I know it, but seeing it is something different.
To pick with y'all. This right here is a picture of Mars. This right here is a picture of Devon Island, which is in Canada. And they look very much the same, except none of the rocks line up. This is all satire. It's all a big joke. Watch the video. So I decided to go on Google Earth, NASA, and we're going to check out Devon Island, and we're going to see what it's all about.
Let's do it.
Here we go. All right, so as you can see, it says the Mars-based bed and breakfast, but when you zoom around and you just kind of check out everything, they're all on four-wheelers. And what is that? Mars Institute Hold on a second.
Is this real?
NASA, CSA, which is Canadian Space Agency. Don't forget now, this entire video is satire. It's all a big joke, fact checker, so there's no misinformation because it's just a joke that I'm making on this video. This right here is Mars. This right here is Devon Island. All he did was get a little filter and put it over it from Devon Island. He's like, oh yeah, is what people say, but that's actually not true. Fact checkers, is it? I mean, really, man?
So this woman smoked for many years, and she ended up doing the paper towel test to see how bad her lungs were because of all these years of smoking. This is exactly what happened, and she's able to see that the towel changes color to this.
Bad,
what is that even? And then years after she stopped smoking, she redid the paper towel test, and this is exactly what happened. You notice that she looks different. She looks much healthier, right? And then the paper towel results are completely different. So her lungs seems like they're much healthier, they're much cleaner than what they were before. And here's what you have to understand. Smoking can definitely cause you to have COPD or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, in which you have mucus build up, and over time that could predispose you to have respiratory issues, pneumonias. Then that could cause you to not be able to clear mucus as well as all these different chemicals in your lungs. What could happen is that COPD or smoking could cause ciliary damage. You have a mucociliary escalator that basically helps clear up different bacteria, different debris in your lungs, but when you smoke, you destroy that. So now you're having a very difficult time clearing that from your lungs, and your lungs could have a buildup of all these different chemicals and toxins as well as mucus buildup. That is definitely not something that you want. So if you're still smoking cigarettes or vaping to that extent, you stop immediately so that you don't have any lung issues in the future.
A very curious anomaly when we watched the alleged footage of the Wright brothers' first flight in 1903. You would think that if you were watching the first ever manned airplane flight, still thought to be impossible at the time and the greatest achievement in history, you would be watching intently with a look of wonderment on your face, not wanting to miss a single second. But like the Zapruder film also shows people looking uninterested in any direction but the most popular president in history's motorcade, the Wright brothers spectators seem to be equally disinterested and unenamored. Hey Bob, let's go grab some lunch while these guys try to get that wooden contraption off the ground. While there is a theory out there that says that entire flight was faked Hollywood-style production using models, another explanation could be that it was actually commonplace to see flying machines in the sky, and therefore no big deal to see a several hundred-foot low-altitude flight. Musings or not, the evidence seems to point in this direction. Were we flying across the Atlantic in the 14 or 1500s, as the old maps seem to suggest? Why did they blur out the skies in the 1800s? Why are there no bells in the so-called belfries? And how the hell did they get that up there, if not by air?
Ever wondered if you just put a penny in a coin star? Well, we're about to find out.
%. You ain't getting nothing back. They jacked your penny. Yoink.
It just ate my penny.
Yoink. I just signed up at a new bank yesterday. I'm tired of the bank I was at. Last straw was yesterday. I went and signed up at a new bank. I love it. And while I was there, I saw somebody putting coins in a thing. I've never seen that at a bank. And I asked them, hey, do you guys like charge a fee for that? No charge, no fee, you get 100%. You can't get cash, but it'll go directly, you know, you get a receipt, take it to the teller, and they'll put it in your check-ins or savings. So that's pretty dope, y'all. That's pretty dope.
So this video was taken from behind the Sphinx, right? Y'all beat the pyramid and shit in the back, but I want y'all to look at those blocks and shit that built the Sphinx and the pyramid, right? And then look at this. I want us to make this make sense, y'all. Do y'all see that? That's just one little cinder block on the back of a Mack truck, yo. Bent that joint. And look at the size of that one person to that block. Now, if I'm not mistaken, y'all, back in the Egyptian days, they said that they was tugging those big-ass blocks with ropes and a bunch of men. Now, when y'all see this, do y'all really believe that this was built by 1 million men with ropes and sticks? When you looking at this. Another thing I was peeping, I'm like, yo,
on a hill.
We always talk about the very top, but what happened to this part that wrapped all the way around? What was on there that you didn't want us to see? Or did it just fall apart? Why everything else didn't just fall apart? I don't know, y'all.
This is what you look like after you come out of the crematorium. You're not ashes. After your bones cool off with this fan, your bones are taken to a grinder, which is over here, that grinds everything up. And then you're turned into that little powder that people call ashes.
The music business is ran by the devil. So the music business is only designed to get as many people to go away from God as possible. So what happens is the devil needs workers. And
you know, I did a reaction on my other channel a while back. I think I took it down, but it was a guy. He was tripping on weed, watching a Jay-Z concert, like the Black Album concert. And he was saying this exact stuff that this guy was saying. He was seeing it. That Jay-Z's here to get as much people as possible. He said it on one of his songs. I'm here to get as much people as possible to go to hell. And everything, it's crazy. I remember what he said. And he was even saying that, you know, it came to him because nobody knew he liked art. He liked to draw. And the devil in that high came to him and put a big old portrait on the floor and said, if you draw this, you'll become famous. You know, like sell your soul. But the one thing you got to do is smoke weed every single day. And then when he said that, I remember that famous quote from Nate Dogg at the end of that song, that Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre song, smoke weed every day. Like that fucking hit me when he said that. I was like, damn, maybe that's what he meant. Like, that's what you have to do to get to this. You know, they sold their soul and they told you right there. But everything this guy's saying is everything that dude said. I might put that video back out. It had a copyright and all that, but I'm not getting paid over there. So, you know, and it's not blocked. So I'll put it out. Maybe you guys go check it out. Link in the bio. I'll throw it out there. A lot of people hated on it, saying he had bad weed and all that. But I believe that stuff, y'all. I believe that mind opens up when you're smoking. You see things for what they really are sometimes. Some people can't get to that, but some people do. And they call it tripping.
Our work is he needs people who have influence, who can mislead or misguide people away from the light into the darkness. So this is why the artist is powerful. So the artist is the mouthpiece. Okay? The artist is the mouthpiece between the devil and the fan. And the artist's job is to get you to throw up these weird signs. What are you doing this for? This is the Baphomet. I don't fuck with this. So don't think I'm throwing this up because I don't fuck with this. I'm just showing you when you see these signs, when you see the checkerboards, when you hear them talking about demon time and drill and kill and all this shit. So what happens is the artist is only the tool used to push the message of the devil.
NATO countries, the United States, the particular nuclear doctrines of the nuclear powers within NATO, like France, the UK, and others. And I can tell you unequivocally, 100%, we are in World War III. And you can say today, hours ago, when the UK fired between 12 and 20, and the reported there's more, so that's why it's growing, high-powered, supersonic cruise missiles out of Ukraine into Russia at military targets. If other NATO countries join in bombing Russia, which happened today, the UK joined, it is official. They're going ahead, and Russia and Putin and their head of their missile forces and Lavrov, their foreign minister, have all said 2 months ago in public announcements and in speeches and in doctrinal changes to their military posture and their nuclear forces that if the missiles were delivered and that if the West said we are now escalating, just the announcement would mean Russia was, quote, in a state of war officially with NATO. With another NATO country joining in a major bombing operation against Russia, I guarantee you.
It's like halfway. You
Yeah.
see inside there?
Nope.
Nope.
It's smoking.
It is smoking. All right, let's keep going.
Yep.
I was looking for that video on my other channel. It's actually on my big channel, but I'm not going to post it here. I'm going to download it onto my laptop and I'm going to post it on my second channel if you guys want to check it out. It's a hell of a good story. I believe them. Sorry to interrupt. That's what I was looking at on my phone. I was going to upload it right now so I can tell you guys it's actually live over there, but I have to download it onto my laptop and then post it over there on my second channel. Second channel link is in the bio. Make sure you guys go subscribe. That video will be up later.
What the white man do. Without the white man. That's where he messed up. Start feeling like he was the white man. That's where he messed up, I feel like. Because other than that, if people would have just kept doing what they was doing, would nobody ever help nobody?
This dude chilling. This looks smiling.
I ran around with a band that I won't name them, but a satanic rock band, and all their music was very wicked. I actually went with the leader of that band for a while. And one day I just asked him, I said, "Where do you get those horrible songs that you write?" And he said to me, "We all get in a room and the songs just come. We know that to be automatic writing."
That's what this dude was saying. That's what he was saying. He said because Jay-Z doesn't write his stuff down, that there's something in him like that starts twitching and he starts mumbling and saying things, and then boom, he goes, lays the song down. That's crazy, y'all. A lot of these things, like I'm telling you, go watch that video. It's going to be on my other channel. Go check it out, because everything that dude's saying is what these people are saying.
And he said, the songs just come, we write them down, we record them, and then we take the master tape to a witch coven, and they pray over it. So that when we press the records and they go into people's homes, demons go home with each record.
Does that still go on today, in your opinion?
Yes. Oh, yes. Many of the rock groups that, especially in the late 60s and through the 70s, were very satanic.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh wow.
The name of her TikTok is...
Like, it just suddenly, it was just like everything was confusing, and then it was just like this beam of like straight here. Like I saw their names, and I knew that they're connected to the house.
Yes.
And then me is right here.
But it's just the dowsing rod. It pointed straight at it, and then it turned.
Remember it went like this? Remember I was like, what kind of mixed messages? It was like
because
this?
One was at you and one was at the grave.
Have you guys ever talked to somebody that's into that stuff? They're very, very weird. Believe it wholeheartedly. But they're messing with some deep things. I mean, the name of her TikTok, you can't see it on this because it's zoomed in, is The Witch of Wellness.
And then when you took it down to one, it pointed at it, and then it pointed right at you to say.
And they think it's spiritual and positive, but I used to talk to somebody that was into that stuff, and out of this world, y'all, out of this world, not in reality.
You're right here, like, oh my gosh.
Her husband's buried here too. Remember, I just felt like they were buried together.
Yeah.
I kept saying there's a lot like of them buried together.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, because they're all connected.
Yeah.
Even that one, all connected. That name too. I searched.
Yeah.
They're all connected to the house.
To each his own, though, y'all. I know I have some followers. Sometimes I forget little Segovia over here has been through hell and back multiple times. You know, we have a lot of family in the Cave Fam here that are watching, and sometimes I forget and say things. So I apologize to anybody that is, you know, that is into these things. I'm just speaking of the person I knew. That's what I got from them. You know, so I'm not saying you, if you're into these things, you're weird and out of it. To each his own. Whatever you believe in, you believe in. We're free over here in the Cave family. You're free to do what you want, say what you want. But I don't want to come off as rude, because honestly, I'm sorry. I forget that I have people that, you know, that watch the show, and I forget, y'all. I forget sometimes.
Lenny, you didn't think
special.
you'd get out of this one, did ya? Does anybody remember Lenny Kravitz? He was known for being a musician in Hollywood and also a fashion icon, and allegedly he was close to Diddy. I have come across quite a few personal pictures of him and P. Diddy, to be exact, and one has to wonder if he knows. And as reports come out about Kanye West and other people who were involved in the circle, one has to wonder how strong their friendship was. This is Lenny Kravitz's daughter, Zoe Kravitz, who is now the girlfriend of Channing Tatum. And if you didn't know, Zoe Kravitz is the one who wrote and directed Blink Twice. A lot of people are comparing what happened at P. Diddy's freak-offs to the movie Blink Twice. And that could be possible, but I found another link. Peter Nygaard. This is Lenny Kravitz and Peter Nygaard in the Bahamas, and Peter Nygaard is even wearing his presidential jacket given to him by George Bush Sr. Small world, right? And what a coincidence that Lenny Kravitz also owns an island in the Bahamas, just like Peter Nygaard's. And what Peter Nygaard was doing at this island, I can't even put in this video. But there are certain things that happened in Blink Twice that was almost verbatim to what Peter Nygaard was doing at his island. For example,
the girls would come down in the morning looking absolutely dreadful and saying, you know, can you get us out of here? Can you get us out of here? Really? And we'd say, no, we can't, because we didn't bring you in, so you've got to go ask him for your plane ride back.
And if you didn't know, Zoe Kravitz's mother is Lisa Bonet, who was a right hand of Jason Momoa, who had also a questionable video put out of him and his daughter. And as I'm digging into this more and more, I've got to wonder if this movie was based on personal experiences or had some truth to it, because Channing Tatum's post on X kind of hinted to it to me.
I have just found out that Americans wear their outside dirty shoes in their own home. Tell me this isn't the truth. Tell me, Americans, because what do you mean you are stepping outside in the dirt? There's dog poo out there, there's mud, there's spit on the floor, and you are then walking in to your humble abode where you go to sleep and you go to rest. You are walking around with your bare feet, I presume. Then you're getting into bed. You are getting into bed with basically everybody's spit and dog poo on your feet, and you're rolling around in bed being, ooh. No, babe, wake up. You have got people's dog poo on your feet. Take your shoes off when you go to your house. Please, I'm begging. This is just out of respect for you, because what do you mean you are walking into your own house and you're wearing your outdoor shoes? Why are you doing that? Do you not feel repulsed by your own hygiene?
She's got a point, y'all. I take my shoes off. I don't walk around the house. I don't feel comfortable walking around the house. I don't know where I got this habit from. And when I lived in my apartment, I just started taking my shoes off, because I never did that growing up. We wore our shoes inside, walked around barefoot, like she said, and got in bed. But the way she breaks it down is like, damn, we some dirty people over here, y'all. How many of you guys do that? Walk around your house with your shoes on? Don't lie. Don't lie.
tripping, so I recorded it.
That's crazy.
This happens to me every day. Look, that's a grab 4 on level 3. It's right there, right? Third spot now. Now, I swear to God, this happens to me every fucking day. I park on, always on the whole floor. Always different places. Dude, this happens to me every day.
That's crazy.
Look how many spaces there are in here. Level 3. The RAV4 is always parked in the same exact space that I fucking have.
Gotta get better parking, girl.
The most beautiful tree I've ever
Gotta
seen.
end on something positive. It is beautiful, ain't it, y'all? Ain't nature beautiful? I'm going for a hike after this.
Mushroom! Look at that one!
I'm going on a hike after this, y'all. I need to. Your boy Segovia has just been... I've been a bad boy lately, y'all. Treating myself very terribly, and I'm feeling the repercussions of that. You know, body pains, mental pains, fogginess, just all that. But anyways, you guys ain't here to hear me complain. Hope you guys enjoyed today's reaction, y'all. I'm heading out of town, going to Arizona tomorrow. So I'm thinking I'm going to take my production out there, but the videos are going to be a little shorter, y'all. I'm going out there to spend time with my family. I don't see them often, probably like 2-3 times a year if I'm lucky. So I'm going to go out there. I want to spend time with them, but I'm going to try to get a little 25-30 minute video up for you guys so that, you know, keep you guys entertained over there. So production will be going, but starting, you know, tomorrow up until Sunday, I'll be back Saturday. So Sunday we'll be back to regular broadcasting, but the next few videos are going to be short. Make sure if you guys want to go see that reaction I did to that, you know, that guy that pretty much says everything they say. If you guys want to see that, link in the bio to my second channel is going to be up by the time you watch this video. It'll be up over there, so be sure to go over there and check it out. And like I said, I always say 1,000 subscribers, we'll be doing a giveaway over there, y'all. So make sure you guys go over there, show your boys some love. Hope everyone out there has a good day. Y'all got one more day, and then you get a little break, a little day off for Thanksgiving. I'm gonna be out in Arizona going to the Suns game, taking her to a Suns game. I decided to go. Hopefully Kevin Durant's back playing. We'll be at the Suns game Wednesday night. They're playing the Brooklyn Nets, so we'll be out there in downtown Phoenix. She's never seen downtown Phoenix. Show her the ballpark, show her the Cardinal Stadium, probably go have some lunch at I don't know where we're gonna go, probably get some chicken wings somewhere. Let me know down below, you guys know any good chicken wing spots out there. I know a little bit, but you know, we'll see where we go. I'm just craving some chicken wings, y'all. But anyways, this is Segovia. I'm signing out of the man cave. Hope everyone out there has a good day. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow for a short banger. Later.